Hello? Hello?
Hello there.
To no one.
0 people.
0.
All right, let's give away all the secrets of the next episodes while nobody is watching.
Oh, I know why. Because normally whenever I do one of these, I hold it like in the lobby for 10 minutes. But now there's nothing.
Nobody.
This is what it feels like when you don't have it.
This is what it feels. This is what my channel feels like.
Hey, 40 people, cool. Hey guys, how's it going?
What's up?
Why did someone say daddy?
I don't know.
Well, you're a daddy, I guess.
Daddy, I'm a daddy.
What's going on, guys? So we are in Los Angeles, LA, and I'm hanging out with Danny. We're gonna go over some of your questions, see how you guys are doing, and yeah. So I fly back home tomorrow, so I figured we would do this. And also behind me, we just put the 4K version of the movie onto a drive, so that'll be uploaded at a much later time. We also have a lot of other things to talk about, such as conventions that we're going to be doing this summer, actually. So some big Star Wars ones. So we'll go more into detail about that in the future. But so first of all, hello, and let's go on with your questions. Please make a SWT Vader hoodie. So, you want to say something?
I think you've made an SWT Vader hoodie, haven't you?
Maybe. We got some super chats. Let's see. Make the next film longer. Take my credits. Thanks, man.
That is what it takes. It takes many credits to make these films
super chat. Every super chat goes towards episode 2, man. So now's the time, baby. The Kraz experience says, everyone donate if you hate sand.
I hate it.
I hate it too.
Well, of course, and
someone, George Google user says, hello there. Great film you guys made. So what do you get? Like, what do you guys want? Do you want us to just answer some questions right now, or do you want us to? We could watch the film and we could do like a
live commentary.
Live commentary between the two of us, if you want. Just comment yes if you want us to do a commentary. We can go through the whole movie right now, and we can have like a little screening with all of you. I think that would be kind of cool. Judging by the concept art, it looks like we'll get some shots with Vader having a damaged mask, exposing his face. Do you plan on reprising that role?
We were just talking about
that. Yeah, we were. Yeah. The issue with that is that it's very acting. What's the word? Acting intensive.
Acting centric.
Acting.
It requires
centric.
acting.
It requires acting. So I'm gonna have to step up.
Yep.
Maybe a breakdown of the film. Okay. I guess we could do that.
We're working on kind of little breakdowns, little by little, like behind the scenes stuff, releasing them as we go.
Yeah, so I just got the file here. The whole point of coming down here, one of the main points was to get the file, which has 200 gigabytes of behind-the-scenes stuff. So when I go home, I'm going to upload a lot of stuff for you guys. A lot of people want to see this scene behind the scenes. This scene behind the scenes looks like nothing. It looks like a green screen. $20 by Conquest. Thank you, man. He says, should Seagulls Stop It Now be canon? Yeah, maybe. You've seen that one, right? Music video?
No,
the music video.
I know there's ducks in episode 1. Is that what you're talking about? When, what's his name? Tanaka says, we'll be sitting ducks. Like, oh, so ducks are in Star Wars now.
Oh, right, yeah. T-Mac sends 20. He says, what is each of your favorite Star Wars ship? Ooh.
That's a good question.
For me, it's the ETA 2. Yeah.
I think for me, it's the X-Wing. Just old school X-Wing, like Luke's X-Wing.
Yeah. Cool.
I don't know. The TIE fighters in Force Awakens sound pretty cool too.
Yeah, they sound different.
Yeah, they sound awesome.
Nathan Carr with €5 says, "Hey guys, amazing work with the Vader film. I'm a long time fan from Ireland. If you could change anything about the film, what would it be?"
Make the whole thing at once.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So all the concept you guys see behind us is from the whole film. So roughly there are going to be about 4 episodes.
We'll see.
Maybe.
There'll be at least, well, depending on if we can do episode 2, there'll be at least 1 more episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd like to have made it longer. But.
Yeah. How many episodes, honestly, guys? So the entire script for all of the episodes has been written. It's just each second of filming costs money, and so it's basically how much money we can get together, or how much money he can get together, depends on how long we can make the next episode, which will then in turn judge how many episodes we actually do. Of course, the longer the episodes we make, the less episodes there will be, which I would prefer to do less episodes to get it to you guys faster.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So
I'm gonna share this on Instagram.
all right. Well, this can be okay. Are you guys? Oh, that Gold Taco says, "Are you guys gonna eat a burrito?" That's quite a question.
I'm pretty hungry.
I'm hungry too. Oh, bloopers. So Star Knight asked about bloopers. That's actually one of the things I'm going to give him. To be honest, there weren't a ton of bloopers because as soon as something happened, we're like, all right, let's go again, guys, let's go again. Because we were, always in such a rush, but everything turned out fine. But there are a few, and some of them are pretty funny. So, set malfunctions, wardrobe malfunctions, not the type of wardrobe malfunctions you're thinking about.
We had malfunctions?
Mostly of Dupree.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Wait, I guess I could do Inception like this.
Oh, we're getting real.
Guys, we're live right now. So, swipe up.
All right, so somebody just asked if we are recruiting people from the 501st and by extension Rebel Legion, is that what it is? For the next film. We got all of the clones in the first episode were from the 501st. If you are a clone, particularly if you have a 501st uniform, you can contact vaderfanfilm@gmail.com and let us know.
Some funny comments there. Not gonna read them. Super chats. Send in the 501st says Blue Meow 151. Yes.
Blue Mew, I think.
Blue Mew.
Pokemon.
Marty Sam, $10. Thank you, man. Doesn't ask anything. And Courtney Maxwell, another $10, but they don't ask anything.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna answer your questions here, and then we're gonna do a breakdown of the film. I think that would be fun. Can't read that. Where's Star Wars Theory? Maybe this whole time.
Maybe.
Marty Sam says, hey, he says, hey, I was wondering, why don't we see more info regarding Vader's eyes changing color? Okay, right. I was supposed to make that video, but I've been lazy and I haven't, so I'll do it when I get back home, which is tomorrow night. Hey, Derek, what's going on, man? He says, how goes funding for episode 2? Well, I think you just added to it.
We're $20 closer, thanks to you, Derek.
Yeah, thanks. Well, YouTube takes 30% of that, so.
So, like 4% closer.
Like $14. Are you going to have Kit Fisto in it? Kit Fisto's dead, man.
He died a horrible death. We were also just talking about
these
that.
are going to be, well, but there's a list of the Jedi. We have a whole bunch of them panned out. They look pretty cool.
Would you guys be interested in knowing the backstories of the Jedi? Is that something that might interest you? Something we gotta talk about.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's do that. Go for it.
Well, no, I was thinking about doing like a whole video.
Oh, like
series.
a video, not right now? Okay.
Like a whole video series for each Jedi, but almost like a comic for each of the Jedi.
And then I could hire someone to make a comic, actually.
Well, somebody offered today. We haven't talked about it yet.
Really?
But yeah.
You didn't tell me.
I know. I forgot about it until just now.
What did they say?
That they would like to make like a comic strip for each of the 10 Jedi and their backstories and where they came from, how they survived Order 66.
That'd be super cool.
It'd be awesome.
You know,
right?
I could give that away for free probably on the like Patreon and join stuff.
Yeah, I mean you can give away a paper copy.
I can't sell it.
You can do your, your voices and everything for it. Videos out of it.
Well, I can
too.
make videos out of it. Yeah, I can make videos out of it too. Is that something you guys would want? That's actually really cool.
Yeah. Because some of the backstories of these Jedis are actually really awesome. Like we've actively thought about who these Jedi are, where they came from, how they survived Order 66, how they're connected to Vader / Anakin, I guess. what do they have any personal beef against him? You know, how Mace found them. All of these things that really make it more than just Jedi and Vader fighting to the death.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Anyone here from Patreon? Well, you guys might watch it later. If you haven't joined the channel, because I'll release those. Oh, we got one join guy right there. Fives. Yeah, so join the channel. You guys are going to be getting exclusive behind-the-scenes content, along with 15% off the merch store, and now I guess these comics that we're going to start working on. So let's answer some more questions before we get started on the film. $22.99 by A Big Fat Cow Guy.
A big fat cow guy.
Oh, a big fat cow. How did you make that part where Vader stops those blaster shots? Yeah, absolutely.
Well, a lot of visual effects. So what went into those shots? They were done by two artists, Nicholas Rao and I actually don't know his name. His Discord name is Araglar. I think it's Vladislav, but if it's not, I sincerely apologize. But they both did, and then some rotoscoping was done by a guy named Brandon Hill. What we did is we used 2D blaster bolts for the majority of the shots as they were fired, and the biggest thing was all about make it look like it's a wall of 200 blaster bolts. My favorite shot of the movie is the shot where it goes through the blaster bolts. That's actually a 3D shot that was done. And the only thing that we had on set is we actually had some RE sky panels. They're big like lights flashing blue and being static blue on Vader to get that reactive lighting around him. So it's really not as sweet as it really sounds, but it is what it is.
We're going to upload lots of behind-the-scenes stuff so you guys will know. Next question by Zombies. Hey, how do Jedi Masters deflect blaster bolts or lightsabers? How long did it take them to... Oh, so that's called Tutaminis. And that's something that they really, like, a masterful person of the Force would be able to do that. So, like, Yoda could do that, like we saw in Episode 3. And a few others in the Old Republic. You guys did a fantastic job. Everyone is talking about it. This is what the fans want. Oh, thanks, Tim. Appreciate that.
Keep sharing it.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys liked it. We're 2 weeks in now, and it's almost 6 million views. So that's pretty good. Any idea for an overreaching plot for your series? So far, it seems it could be 2 or 3 episodes. My dad and I pooed ourselves after Vader wakes up, says the fancy man. An overreaching plot.
An overarching plot.
Overarching plot.
Like, do we know where the story's going, I think.
Oh, yeah. We've written the whole thing. It's done. So,
done. Written.
Yeah.
Ready to be shot as soon as funding happens.
The dinero. Send those super chats. Join the channel. That's the main thing,
Join
man.
the channel.
Join the channel. Like, for what, $5? You guys get all this exclusive stuff, plus those comics that are coming.
Yeah.
Rotorzilla says, we need a Quinlan Voss. We were just talking about that. Putting Quinlan Voss in it. But we don't want to mess with the timeline.
That's a difficult one. I mean, there's just so many different variables that factor into if Quinlan is there.
Hey, Luke. How's it going, buddy? We're live. You want to come see? We're live on YouTube.
Don't touch it, though. You want to come say hi?
Want to come say hi?
To who?
To 1,000 people? Yeah.
1,000?
1,000, yeah.
Got any more here?
I don't know what we were talking about.
I don't know either. Quinlan Voss. Dennis Paruch says, whose idea for Vader to throw lightsaber with the Force? Awesome idea and great effect. Loved scene of fight from outside the Star Destroyer. Luke lives.
Luke lives. I like that hashtag.
That was Danny's idea. And I was like, that's a really cool idea, but I don't know if we'll pull it off because it just seems really hard to do, but it's my favorite scene.
I love it. I love it. And with the Star Destroyer shot, we went through a few iterations of that shot as well to make it look interesting and make it look realistic. And I think the final result looks pretty good. Yeah. Because it's like, how do you do light rays in space?
We kind of changed it at the last minute, too.
And we changed it, less than 24 hours to go, we swapped the existing shot that was in there for a whole, it looks totally different. It's a totally different shot. So.
where the wildlings are. Give it $20. 20 pounds, I should say. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Any more questions, guys, before we go to the film? AK Super Chats? AK Dineros? AK Frog? Okay. The young kid says, will you link in Starkiller? No, he'd be way too
I'll
overpowered.
choke you with the Force.
Yeah, we'll put Luke in there and then he'll just kill Vader. And he would win. What would you say was the hardest part of filming for you?
I think people ask that question all the time. What was the hardest part of filming? And I think honestly the hardest part is just the fact that we knew people were going to watch this movie.
Yeah.
And just trying to live up to the expectations.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So there was like that emotional and mental aspect to it.
Yeah.
I'll go on the show to my house.
Because a lot of people were like, oh, this is overhyped. This is, it's going to be like crap or whatever. And
My Halloween party stuff.
we were biased, right? Because we made it. So we're like, well, is it?
And my
So we're just
birthday
happy that it
party
turned out
stuff.
good,
My
so.
birthday party
Luke?
stuff.
I think I told.
I am a Magnaformers.
Well, no.
What?
Okay, I'll be right back.
Hey, Daddy, I want to eat my Magnaformers.
Oh, he's gone. Hey guys, what's going on? Leia's Lair, what's going on? If you guys didn't know, the channel Leia's Lair is actually my best friend. He lives in Edmonton. We met on a Star Wars forum when I was like 14. We're actually the same age, and we're both from Canada, which is weird. It's him and his girlfriend who make that channel. You should check it out. It's fun. Thoughts on Collider's video? Which one? The one before today's? What do you think? Thoughts on Collider's video? I didn't watch this one.
I haven't seen the one today.
I haven't seen it yet.
So, but I just want to say, under no circumstances do we think what we've done is better quality than Disney.
No.
It's like we can't.
No. No.
We don't have $2 million a minute to spend.
No, and that's the thing. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's so much better than Disney, so much better than The Last Jedi." It's like that wasn't really the point. That we were just trying to make something cool, but of course,
it was fun.
Yeah, totally unrelated. But people will take that and they'll say what they want, say what they like. That's fine. So
we're both Star Wars fans.
Yeah, we're not trying to outdo a multi-million-dollar company here.
No.
I love your movie, says Abigail. Thank you.
Here comes the calendar.
No, wait, it wasn't Abigail. It was someone else. Turbo Fire Clash the Goat says, someone get Mr. Beast in here. That guy's got way too much money.
Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beauty.
No, you know the channel.
Oh, that guy,
That
Mr.
guy
Beast.
who just like
Mr. Beauty and the Beast.
throws money at everyone.
Yeah, he should definitely consider back in the next episode.
It had more meaning than the Disney Star Wars movie. Oh, that's nice.
Well, we definitely tried. I mean, the biggest thing that we knew that we could get for free was story, and so that's why I think the biggest thing from the beginning, we just wanted to do something that had a good story that felt relatable as a viewer, especially with Vader, because one of the hardest things with Vader is he's awesome in the original trilogy, but as an audience, you're relating to Luke mostly. And so in this episode, we really wanted to find something that we could relate to Vader on with a personal level. And so Padme is the obvious choice. None of us can relate to being, killing all of our mentors and and turning to the dark side of the Sith. And we can't relate to that, but we can relate to losing a loved one perhaps, or being lied to, or being cheated. All those things people can relate to on different levels. And so we wanted a good story. That's what we tried to do.
Zombie says, what lightsaber color would you have? Luke, what color?
What lightsaber color?
Lightsaber color.
Green.
Yeah, me too.
Me too.
Green.
Green all around.
All right. The GOAT says NFL player Chris Connolly is a Star Wars fan. He can help. Well, that'd be nice. You should tweet him or something.
Tweet him.
Eric says, how did you get the email? Hey, did you get the email I sent you? Collider wants to have you on Rule of Two podcast and talk about Vader. Sure,
Yeah.
cool.
We'll take a look.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
$5 from Ryan. He says, "What was it like directing the movie, and do you have any pointers for someone who wants to direct?"
Well, it was awesome to direct the movie. Thanks to him, to give somebody like me the opportunity. I think the biggest thing is what I was just talking about. Just focus on story, and focus on your characters. Biggest thing. Too many times do we get lost in the world of visual effects or sweet camera moves, and we forget that we're telling a story. That's the whole purpose of it all. So, the one thing that's free, story.
Yeah, and it's the best thing too.
Yep.
There were times when Danny was directing, and he had to yell and scream and just make the actor feel alive and energetic. 'Cause, yeah.
Well, it was hard because when Steve was screaming, doing Sidious, I had to scream louder than Steve so he could hear what I was saying.
I know. But I remember when the clones were getting shot with the blasters. You're just like, blasters, dead.
Press the attack.
Dead.
I remember where the ground trooper gets hit in the head.
Yeah, that was a cool part.
Yeah, he gets hit right there and then he dies.
For episode 2, we want to get actual clone costumes from the
Then,
501st
ah!
and destroy them. So
I was just talking to someone today about that actually, because we want to get
Ah!
costumes where they can really move, where they can fall, where it's flexible. Because I don't know if you guys know, but these costumes are you can't move in them. They're incredibly restrictive.
yeah, no. What if Padme didn't die? Good choice, says the young kid. Oh, thanks, man. What if Padme didn't die? Well, Anakin would still be around, and he'd probably be happy and wouldn't really be evil.
There would be no dark side.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have got the original Star Wars movies.
It was all Padme's fault. How much money have you made so far, and are you close to funding? I can't wait and paid £10 as it is. I would pay for a movie as good as. Thanks, man. We are nowhere near close. There's about 250 grand, which is 300,000 Canadian or something like that. So
every bit counts.
yeah, we're very, very far away. So these live streams are actually really good. So far we've raised about $400 in this live stream. So I mean, that helps.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah, I mean,
thanks, guys.
if we can hit 1,000 in this one, that'd be awesome. And then we would just have to do about 300 more.
But I definitely consider, giving a few dollars, joining his channel, which is about $5 American.
The join. I'm really trying to bank on that join channel and give you guys a lot of extra content on there because I feel like that's something for $4.99, you guys get a lot of stuff and everyone can do it really.
And you get the film. I mean,
yeah, it's like a price of a coffee, per month. And if you don't like it, you can just quit. Hi from. Ooh, how do you say that?
Chesham?
Chesham, England.
Chesham, England?
Chesham.
Cheerio.
Cheerio, yes. Cool. Thank you, lad. He's
As he
probably
just-
give me my money back.
Yeah.
Bastard.
2 Cheerios for your eyes.
Yeah. That's
Nathan Carr said, what was your job before you started YouTube?
He was
I had
Zoolander,
a-
male
yeah.
model.
Yeah, I had a few. None of them were as cool as what I do now, though. That's for sure.
And I've always made movies. I'm a loser. I've had no other job. Except I worked as a busboy in a restaurant once.
Oh, I've done everything. I've been a busboy. I've been a folding clothes. I've worked at a gym. I've worked at a supplement store. I've worked at a computer store. Everything. Sold houses. Jared, will we see a Darth Maul or Boba Fett episode? Oh, let's finish this one first and then see what happens. Darth Maul's easy because he just kills people. There's not too much backstory to him until
Until Clone Wars. The Clone Wars is really gets interesting.
Yeah. Eagle Nest highlights. I hope you can reach your goal. The film was awesome. Thinking of joining the channel soon. Well, thanks, man. I
Join.
appreciate that. Yeah, join.
What you just paid now, you could have joined the channel.
Yeah, you could have. $4.99. You could have joined the channel for a month. Ryan Cluis, sorry, with $50 says
Hey.
thanks for all the great content and the pointers. Hope this helps. Can't wait for episode 2. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. We really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. So,
Just
thank you for your donation. Kurt says nothing, but he gives $2. Thanks, Kurt. 5 from Anthony. Here, this should double your set design budget. JK, can't wait for episode 2.
That will triple it.
Yeah. Quadruple. Boba Fett says, please put me in the movie. So, we thought of putting Boba in the movie at the end, but it would just take away from Vader's arc.
I mean, yeah, because Boba Fett's such a sweet character. The moment you put Boba Fett in the movie, it's not about Vader anymore.
No.
You know, especially if there's a guy with an amethyst blade in the film.
Yeah, and that's just a bit too, like...
Especially their backstory, then that, it would just take center stage.
Yeah, so... Hey guys, what's your honest opinion of The Last Jedi and Disney as a whole? I think they're good, says Jack. I'll say it right now, I didn't like The Last Jedi. I wasn't a fan. Danny, I think, will remain silent. And yeah. There were nice parts about the movie, but the story I thought was, I didn't like it. Flight at $25 says, may the force be with you. Thanks, man. May the force be with you, too. This money is for the little guy if he can give us his best Vader impression. Oh!
I want you to say a Darth Vader line. You want to say Darth Vader line?
What line?
Which line do you want to say? I will not be denied? Which one do you want to say?
It's from Star Wars for Life, and he gives you 5 pounds.
Yeah. What do you want to say?
Was something of your movie?
Yeah. Or, I destroyed your enemies. Forge for you an empire.
I will not be denied. No?
Oh, he clammed up. Normally you can't get him to stop saying the lines. Or say the Emperor's line. You don't want to say it? Okay, if you decide you want to say it later, you
Fernando
can.
says, thanks for the great content. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Thanks, guys, for all the donations. You're really helping.
I'll do it.
Okay, do it.
Okay, let's go.
I will use the rifle first.
I will use the 501st. Good job.
Where's Derek? Make way for the boys in blue.
That's right.
Run away, son.
5.5 million views, says Zach Reed. 6 soon, hopefully.
Thanks, guys.
At this rate, we're going at like 1 million a week,
Vader?
so...
Darth Vader thumbs down because he's mean.
Zach says, my wife wants to know what you guys think of porgs.
So I was super worried about the porgs when I first saw them in the trailers because I thought they were gonna be just like
Lame,
Ewoks.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna have this big critical part of the story.
Yeah.
But I was fine with them because they weren't that big a deal, you know.
I kind of wanted it to get one of them to get either eaten by Chewie or smoldered by the lightsaber when he was jumping on it. I think that would have been funny.
Well, what I thought was funny is that Chewie has killed this porg, he's cooked it,
I know,
and he still decides not to eat him.
Chewie what?
Oh, he just ate a bird.
He ate a bird?
Yeah.
Why does milk come in bags? I don't know.
Well, someone just asked what the 501st is.
Ah.
Hey, new $10 patron from Chris Kingdon. Thanks, Chris, if you're watching this. What do you mean someone asked for that?
Someone just asked what is the 501st? In one of the questions.
Oh, so the 501st were basically the elite of the elite for the clone troopers. And
Yes.
Yeah. So these guys that get decimated
the
by
blue
Mace.
armor.
And they were allocated just for Anakin, and then later became Vader's fist, which were just for Vader.
And they were the ones who marched against the Jedi Temple, right?
Yeah. So they're the ones with blue. Mike Hooter says, with 25 bones, he says, if you had been able to monetize the film, how much do you think would have... Oh, so that's a video I actually wouldn't mind to make, but I'd have to ask my network for that. So roughly I calculated I'd be at with the amount of likes and the ads I could have put on there, and comments, probably close to about 80 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. Especially for December, because December is a really high paying month. So I probably would have put 6 ads in there, and yeah. So my gift to you guys, there you go. Hey, Star Wars Theory, do you have any idea how many times the episode 2 will be, or how long it'll be? Maybe? I don't know yet.
Not quite yet. We gotta, as we said, the rest of, the series as a whole is written, but we haven't broken it up into the individual episodes yet, so we'll see.
It comes down to money.
Yeah.
How long do you want it to be? I'd like for it to be 2 hours long, but that's the thing is like we could have made this movie. You know, episode 1 could have been over an hour long, but it would have been really boring. And I'm sure you've seen a lot of fan films like that.
I'm breaking
Right.
my thumb off.
Yeah, it's in film. The longer you get, the more expensive you get. If you want to keep the same quality, if you want
I
to,
have a thumb.
you know, we could have, like I told him, we could have made an hour movie, but we would have really had to stretch it.
Yeah.
It would have been really boring, and it would have been, you know, shot in a backyard or something like that. So the quality would have really suffered.
Yeah. So
Yeah, let's take my
I'm happy
thumb
with what
off.
we got. You know, it was a good pilot.
Let's try my thumb off again. Okay.
Flight
thumbs
says,
up,
my
thumbs up,
grandfather
thumbs
won't
up.
go with me to see Return of the Jedi showing at the Kennedy Center because of the Last Jedi. So I'm not a fan of the Last Jedi, and I don't blame him.
Well, show him Shards of the Past.
Yeah, maybe he'll like it.
Sons of the past.
Someone says I also thought he was Hayden. Do you like Chipotle? Yeah, I like Chipotle. Chipotle's good.
You hear the dog barking?
Did you see the new episode of Collider's Rule of Two podcast series? They want to interview and has expressed interest in wanting to help fund it. Check it out. Yeah, that'd be cool. They got to email me. I'd be interested. That'd be great. I haven't watched the video yet though. Greet Pack says, "What's your biggest beef with the Last Jedi?" How they dealt with Luke, and no explanation of anything of Snoke. No, what's the word? Extrapolation or evolution of Kylo. No backstory on Snoke. It just
Hopefully, episode 9.
Yeah.
I think we'll get a lot of that in episode 9.
that'd be nice. Okay, guys. Shall we start the film? If you want us to start the film and do commentary on that, just flood it with yes. I guess it's gonna take 30 seconds to update. So
How do we want to do this? We put one of our phones right there and just so we can turn away, and we can also put it in the background or something. What do you think?
I'm five.
you read the questions. You read and answer the questions, and I'll be in control of pausing it.
Is that what we're gonna do? So we're just not watch it all the way through, but kind of go through it.
Yeah, we can watch it all the way through, but I mean, every time you have something to say or someone has a question or a super chat,
Let me get it brought up and we'll do it.
does that work for you guys? Someone said they sent you Chipotle stuff.
What's that?
Someone said they sent you Chipotle stuff.
They sent me Chipotle stuff. Oh, you're my hero. Hey, look, we're live. But it's not the.
Oh no.
Let's see here.
Someone says, "Oh my God, I'm screaming." It was so much fun meeting you guys at the premiere. Do you remember me? I interviewed you, Star Wars Theory, and talked with Danny. Mythic Bricks, yeah. You were there with your dad, right? And you were filming me with like a little short interview. I'm sorry I couldn't spend more time with you, but it was a fun event, but it was busy. It was hectic. Conquest gives $10 and he says, "Do it."
Daddy,
Give me those.
I want to play with them.
No, we're not.
Will you combine the movies together to create
No, I'm
one
falling into my birthday party.
mega movie, or will they always? Yeah, we'll combine it, and then we'll have a screening for that one big movie. So it'll be cool. Mr. Shekorama says, "What's your favorite scene of the movie? You guys need to write episode 9." I think JJ's got it covered for episode 9. Favorite scene of the movie for me? I really like the part where Vader just throws the lightsaber at Sidious. And the blaster freezing part. And I like the part with my scene where I was waking up. That was really cool. That was a hard one to do actually, because remember, like Michael was like, it's gonna be really hard to have him hanging.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry.
For my scene, Vader unmasked, we were like gonna have me just laying down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot. Up until probably about a week before, he was supposed to be lying on a table.
Yeah. And I was just super adamant about hanging because I just saw it in the comics and I just really wanted that scene. It was really cool. Royal Doyle says, Star Wars Theory, remember when I asked you if Yoda could stop the Death Star with his hand? When will you make that video? Like, you mean the beam? What do you think, Danny?
I don't know if Yoda's that cool.
Yeah, I don't think so. Uneg E2 says, I've seen the film about 15 times now and I still get teary-eyed during the Padme scene. I hope this helps a bit of your journey. Much love from Sweden. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, everything you guys send is going to be going towards episode 2. So, I mean, everything I make on the channel, my life is dedicated to making episode 2 at this point. So.
So, it's up, so we can watch it whenever.
Okay. So, you want to switch seats then? Or should I read?
Doesn't matter. I mean,
Okay. I can read.
So you want to explain to them how we're gonna watch it, and as we watch, you guys can throw up questions, and we'll answer them. We'll pause it, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Turn the lights up. No?
All right.
Movie time, baby. Yeah, popcorn emojis. Pop those popcorn emojis. Alright.
So this first part, we wanted to get straight up what the what the circumstances of the story are. That it's 8 months later, and things have changed. You know, the Empire's here. It's a good thing for some people, it's a bad thing for other people, but for Vader, it's just straight up sucks. It's one of our favorite shots.
I will not be denied.
So during this part, the biggest thing that was really important to us is what's the story point? The story point is that Vader is choking somebody, and that clones are trying to kill him. That's all the audience has to know at this point. And that Vader is obviously not digging that. You know, he wants to keep choking this person. And he's got some sort of history with the person he's choking.
Someone says, I didn't like the movie at all. But I appreciate what you're doing.
Sorry, dude.
That's a good one. Matt Stewart says, great work, guys. Thank you for making awesome Star Wars content. It will be stuff like this. It will be stuff like this made by the fans that will get us better films, games. I agree. I think so. I think, you know, movies made by fans, for fans, is really kind of where the future should go.
So this was one of our favorite parts, the frozen blaster bolts. Just because it's awesome. It's like, it's Vader, man.
And I saw some people being like, oh, that's just Star Wars theory, like saying, like taking a crap on Disney and being like, oh, like Kylo Ren's like, this has nothing to do with Disney. Like, I'm not trying to like throw shade. Like, it's a little baby budget fan film. Like, it's not. But if we're being real, Vader is more powerful than Kylo, so he should be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. So here, if you've noticed, Vader breaks both of Sidious's legs and one of his arms. Any idea why he would do that? Silence. But I'll answer it for you. Basically, what did Vader lose physically? He lost both of his legs and one of his arms. So Vader wants him to feel that way before he kills Sidious.
Payback. Jet says, thank you so much for this Vader fan film. Sorry I couldn't give more, but want to at least help. Thanks again. Much thanks, Jet Francis. Well, thank you, man. You don't have to donate anything, but I very much appreciate it, and it definitely helps speed up the goal to have awards episode 2. We're now at 675 in this live stream. If we can hit 1,000, then we just need to do 300 more of these. And
that's right.
And we're there.
So all of the damage on the walls was actually a later thing that we did in the film, because we weren't sure we were gonna have the time to do it. But our visual effects artist just hammered them out, and I think it really makes a huge difference in the film to sell the fight that's been going on. That's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, that was actually really cool. Danny showed me this image right at the end, pretty much, and like everything was on fire and it was smoky, and obviously nothing was on fire when we were filming, but I thought it looked really cool. Can you answer my question? I will not be denied. If you are able to do multiple episodes, do you know where the story is going to? Yes, we've written everything.
Yeah, we know
Do you know
exactly
how
what's
it'll
going on.
end? Yes. We might change things here and there, but...
Will we tell you how it's going to end? No. So this part was one of our most...
Should have directed the sequels. There you go.
Oh, well, thank you guys. This part with Padme was definitely one of our favorite scenes together.
Yeah.
And Nikolai, our third writer,
He
really-
incorporated this heavily.
yeah, he knocked these scenes out of the park. But the three of us, we really wanted to show what Vader wanted as a character. He wants Padme. After all of the fighting and everything like that, he still loves his wife. So we wanted to show it, and we wanted to incorporate the Japor snippet in some way, which maybe you'll see why. But we love the same.
Nathan Kruger says with his super chat, been following your page for years and been a huge fan of the entire time. What Alexa equipment did you end up using? Keep up the work. It's a trap.
So the Alexa is the camera we use, the Arri Alexa Mini. We used if I recall, a 25 millimeter lens, a 50 millimeter lens, and an 85 millimeter lens. Beyond that, I'm not a cinematographer. I don't know if filters were used or anything like that. You'd have to ask Matt Holla, our cinematographer, who did a great job.
$10 from Todd. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it. New member, Weston. Guys, if you want to join the channel, do so now.
Yeah, join.
Yeah. Thunder says with $5, thanks for the amazing first installment. Here's to many more. Love the channel, friend. Thanks, man. Glad you guys enjoyed it. $20 from Johnny Bravo. You remember that show?
Johnny Bravo? Who can forget about that show?
Thank you for such a great episode. Hope to see more. Hope to see more too, man.
So if you didn't know, this is Star Wars Theory.
This is me.
If you didn't realize that.
The young kid says, by the name of the Galactic Center of the Republic, you are under arrest for making the greatest Star Wars fan film.
Yeah, thanks, young kid. That's
a good one. Yeah.
That's
It's a good thing to be under arrest
That's not
for.
his first super chat today either.
No. Mark says, love your movie, getting emotional all the time I watch it. Question about something else. What's your favorite EU book series and single book? Well, everything's EU now. I'd probably say Dark Lord, The Rise of Darth Vader. I really like that one. I like the Darth Plagueis book.
I like the Timothy Zahn trilogy. That's a good one. Where Thrawn makes his first appearance in the EU.
Timothy says, love what you're doing. Can't wait for the next episode. Thanks, man. By the way, we're going to be at some pretty big conventions this summer. So stay tuned for more info on that. We'll be showing the film, and then there will be a deleted scene, if you will, in the summer. So you heard it here first. Dennis says, could the Emperor see Vader's dream?
Yeah, I mean, I've
yeah,
given this answer.
He was the one who basically orchestrated the dream.
Sidious gave Vader the dream. That's right. Blow your minds. Sidious is always 30 steps ahead of Vader. Always. This entire thing, the Emperor is the puppeteer of all of this. He has invested so much time into Anakin to try to get him to be this invincible apprentice, but now he's being a mighty Sith Lord crippled by melancholy and indecision, all because he's lost Padme. And so Palpatine's trying to be like a father and using tough love here to try to kick his son essentially into gear, achieve his potential.
Seabass says, other than Naboo, where will the second episode take place?
What was the question?
Other than Naboo, where will episode 2 be?
Just Naboo, right?
Yeah. Just Naboo, man. But it's gonna be cool. The coolest. Andrew says, now that you've proven yourself, do another Kickstarter. I probably others were nervous about if you could make a movie happen. It wasn't. The thing is,
We'd love to,
yeah,
but
I'm sure we'd be funded within a week. But Lucasfilm said you can't do a Kickstarter, so I'm finding every other avenue that I can to make money. AJ says, can you do the full movie at movie theaters? There's a landmark theater in my city, and there's a great place for brunch down the street. Order 60.
Well, now that there's brunch.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, but definitely when we do the whole thing, we're gonna put it all into one and then have like a massive gathering premiere. Justin says, what visual effects program was used for the film? Many.
Many. After Effects, Nuke, Blender, Maya. I'm sure I'm missing some, but yeah, a variety of programs.
Uneg says, I also think Disney Lucas should hire you 3. Imagine having that 200 mil budget.
That would be great.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I mean, we'd be kidding if we didn't say we wouldn't love that.
No, that'd be awesome. Thomas says, do you ever wish that Starkiller was canon? Yes and no. I just feel like he's kind of overpowered. I can't wait to watch this on 4K. I have the 4K file now, guys. But I'll probably release it maybe next year with episode 9. I just want to thank you. You answered to one of my questions on a live stream about 6 months ago about community, and it really helped. You're a really good speaker, and you can give very good Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that. AJ says, I was asking if you can do it in more theaters. Oh.
Hey, maybe we'll see.
We'll see.
Who knows?
Yeah, we were gonna do it in the UK as well, but
the hardest thing is that he can't charge ticket prices for it, and so he has to like personally pay to rent a theater, and
it's expensive.
It's expensive.
You know, Lost Hobo Films says, do you have a specific name for the droid walking away from Vader, and would you like to see a live-action Hondo Onaka? Love what you're doing, guys. We don't have a name for the droid.
Like a C-3PO type name? No, we don't.
We could get one.
We should though.
$20 from Frank. He says, do what must be done, Lord Vader.
Hey, Frank! I know Frank. I went to high school with Frank.
Really?
If it's the same Frank Leonetti, then yeah. Oh, Frank is the coolest. Dude, Frank and I we watched episode 1, 2, and 3. Or no, we watched episodes 1 and 2, went and saw episode 3 midnight showing, then watched episodes 4, 5, and 6, and then in less than 24 hours went and saw episode 3 again.
With Frank?
Yeah, with Frank.
That's so cool.
Hey, Frank.
What if it's not the same one?
If it's not the same one, then you just happen to have a cool name.
No PFP says, can you recite the whole Plagueis conversation? If it's playing, yeah.
You over here.
The tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
You just gotta get that initial. Did you ever hear?
It's so hard to do. He's like, yeah.
Well, because he had laryngitis at the time.
Yeah, he said there was like sawdust or something.
He was actually sick at the time. That's why his voice sounds so funny. Oh, we made it through the whole movie and didn't talk about
No,
it.
we didn't even talk about the film. That's funny. Do you have a full head of hair or are you a bald one? Oh, I shaved my head.
Play it again.
Opinions of live action Ahsoka. Love her so much. I think that'd be really sweet. They need to do more female leads that.
I think the biggest thing with Ahsoka is if they bring her back for live action, it's got to be justified. It just can't be fan service.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they've got to have her in a situation that she's needed, not just to say, hey, let's somehow put Ahsoka.
That's what so many people say about our movie. They're like, oh, it's just fan service. It's a Star Wars fan's wet dream. It's like,
Well, it's a matter of opinion. I mean, I think that's the thing about filmmaking, though. It's all subjective. There's no right way to make a movie. It's just, do people enjoy watching it or not? And some people, no movie has unanimous fans. I mean, my wife doesn't like Star Wars.
Yeah.
She couldn't, she knows a lot about it just by virtue of being married to me and having Luke as a son, but she doesn't mean she goes out of her way to watch Star Wars. And so, but I love her dearly.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of girls don't really care for them.
Yeah.
Do you think fan films, Nathan says, do you think fan films like Shards and Darth Maul 1 would be an open eye to Disney that fans want stuff like this over what we've gotten? So, well, I hope so. Will Russell says, could you sell theater tickets at cost? No, I can't sell anything. I can't make my money back, and I can't make money. Can't make a cent. Eagle Nest highlights. Can't join your channel through Apple ID, so donating is the best way to help with the fan film. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
Consider Patreon, too.
Yeah, you can consider Patreon, too. I mean, same perks on there as well. And if that comic thing happens, then that'll be really sweet. It'll be totally different. Maybe like a fan comic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll talk more about it.
Super cool, yeah. And I'm also trying to make a game, for the phone. Something I wanted to do for a while, but it's like 90 grand, so I think episode 2 is a priority. Andrew says, Ahsoka Tano episode 9, she time traveled, right? Yeah, that would be cool. Scottyverse, hey Scotty, what's going on? Who are Darth Vaders? Are the film about them? Yes.
I don't know that.
I don't
know what that's asking.
I don't know what that's asking either, but I'm just gonna say yes. That's the best you can do. Scotty's like one of my oldest patron members.
Yeah, Scotty was one of my first Twitter followers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, he's legit, man. If you have the lower body, is it easier to build the...
He's asking you workout questions now.
No, he's saying something from Jason Genova.
Oh.
I've been around, man. I know what these things mean.
I don't, apparently.
The dark side is a pathway to me. You made Star Wars movie better than... Oh, thanks, man. I don't know. I don't know if it's better than Disney, but it's just different. Are your films supposed to follow canon and lead to episode 8, or are they supposed to be an alternate time? No, they're supposed to follow canon.
Yeah. That was one of the big questions we had to ask ourselves at the very get-go. If we wanted to do something totally outside of canon, or something that would meld with canon. And we wanted to do canon.
Yeah. AJ says, also, I am a composer. Will you do another open call for music for future episodes? And will you put the tracks out for download as well? Yeah, I'll put the tracks up. I go back home tomorrow night, so I'll definitely putting up a lot more content from the film and stuff, but not to oversaturate for you guys, so I'll stretch it out. Someone says good night, Star Wars Theory, man. Well, good night, man. Well, guys, one more super chat and one more regular question, and then I think we're going to call it quits for the night. And then I'll fly back home tomorrow and upload more stuff for you guys. And then I can do more live streams. Hey, Geeslys, what's going on?
Can you talk about lighting? Or I thought I said lightning. Well, here's one thing about the lighting. The motifs are pretty clear. We have red lighting in the opening scene to signify Vader's rage and his power. And then in the third scene, we're in the same sets, and that's totally intentional. It's blue lighting to represent Palpatine's dominance over him, because Force lightning blue, and the blue, the color of the Empire. And the second scene in the chamber with Mr. Theory was meant to be white lighting. So it would contrast from both of them. And then the last scene is, doesn't have a color, as strong a color motif, I should say. But the blue and red were meant to be direct opposites of each other.
Star Wars Theory, would you like to see a Commander Cody and or Captain Rex movie? And yeah, I think that would be sweet. I will sponsor episode 2 with $200,000. I'm legit. Hello? Okay, email me.
Star Wars Theory 66 at gmail.com.
Yeah.
We won't say no.
Was Padme pregnant in this film? No, she wasn't.
No, she had already had the babies.
Are you gonna answer me? What are you putting it on DVD? No, I can't because I can't sell it.
Sorry, guys. We wish we could.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Episode 2 would have been funded already, pretty much, and more. So I think that's pretty much it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. This was fun. Glad I could make it down here and live stream with Danny.
Yeah.
Um,
We've only met in person like 3 times.
have we?
Well, if you count all filming as one time.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
So
But we've been talking for a year.
almost a year, man.
Yeah. Wow.
We have our friend anniversary soon.
Yeah, wow. TK756 Brony says, not a question, simply saying for the Empire, and he donates $20. Thank you, Brony. We're gonna end it on your super chat, unless someone wants to send $10 million, and you got my PayPal. So, thanks everyone
Thanks,
for joining
guys.
us, and we'll see you all in the next episode.